Hello, Done That family. Welcome back to another fun-filled day of math and later on multiplication. First thing we're going to do though is check your morning work. So go ahead and get that out. Make sure you have a different colored pen or pencil out so you can check it with me. We are on week 25, day 2. First one starts off with 2005 times 5. Okay, so we will multiply 5 times 5, we get 25. So I have to regroup my 2. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 7. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. So my product is 10,075. Next one. Ross ate 3/10 of a pumpkin pie. Brady ate 6/10 of the same pie. How much of the pie did Ross and Brady eat all together? So if we're trying to figure out how much they ate all together, is it going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing? It's going to be adding. So we have 3/10 plus 6/10, and altogether that's going to be 9/10. So they ate 9/10 of the pumpkin pie altogether. All right, next one, we are comparing 3/5 and 1/2. Are the numerators the same? No. The denominator's the same? No. So we have to use benchmarks. So now we have to think. We're comparing a half. Okay, well that's easy, that's a half. So we have to think of what is a half of 3/5? Well, let's think about it. So if we have half of 5, what's that going to be? 2/5 over 5, right? Sorry, 2.5 over 5. So half of 5 is 2 1/2. That part makes sense? So this is going to be 1/2. This is going to be equal to 1/2. But we have 3/5. So is this greater than a half, equal to a half, or less than a half? It's greater than a half. So if this is greater than a half, this has to be greater than that. Okay? And then the last one, I hope you get this one. 20,000 divided by 2,000 is 10. That's it. If you have questions, please let me know, especially if you meet me in small group or Mrs. Berry in small group. If you meet one of us in small group, please ask questions if you need help on any of those. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase this. Yesterday, I told you that we are working on a new learning target this week. I can multiply a fraction by a whole number. I told you yesterday that it's easier for you if you do the whole number first. Okay, so if I have 2/3 and I want to multiply it by 6, I would use the commutative property of multiplication and just flip them around. Do 6 times 2/3. All right, because it's a whole lot easier to figure that out. Let me show you what I mean. It's possible 2/3 of a group of 6, just a little trickier. Easier to think of it this way. 6 groups of 2/3. So if you remember, yesterday we talked about how multiplication means groups of. And it's no different if you have a whole number and a fraction. No different. It still is 6 groups of 2/3. So if I'm going to do 6 groups of 2/3, I'm going to have to make sure I have 6 groups of 2/3. And you'll notice it's repeated addition. Uh-oh, I'm running out of room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have 6 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 2/3. So when I add them up, what am I going to get? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going to get 12 thirds. And I end up with an improper fraction. I can't keep this here. All right, I can't keep this here. I have to figure it out. I got to pull out my holes. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to take my 12 thirds and I'm going to pull out my holes and see how many I can get. So here's one hole, plus another hole, That's 6/3. I'm not there yet. Plus another whole. That's 9/3. I can go again. And I can get 12/3. 3, 6, 9, 12. 12/3. So look at that. I just have holes. I don't have any leftovers. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. So my final answer is 4 holes. So 6 times 2/3 is 4 holes. Okay? Let's try another one. Let's do 5 groups of 2/4. I want you to pause me and see if you can figure this out. 5 groups of 2/4. Ready? Go. All right, let's see what you came up with. 5 groups of 2/4. So that means I have to have 5 groups of 2/4. All right, so let's count that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I have 10 fourths. So if I multiply 5 groups of 2/4, I'm going to end up with 10 fourths. But this is an improper fraction, so I have to pull out my whole numbers and find my mixed number. So if I start with 4/4, that's 1 whole, plus another 4/4. Am I at 10 yet? And I'm at 8. So that means I have to do 2 more. So I decompose it by doing 4/4 plus 4/4 plus 2/4. All right, and I get 10/4. So I have 1, 2 wholes, and 2/4. What's another way of writing that? Did you have something a little different that means the same thing? How about 2 and 1/2?
That's good.
Okay, so either way is fine. 2 and 2/4 or 2 and 1/2. This is the best way to do it though, because that's what we call simplest form. It's the easiest thing to picture. All right, nicely done. Let's try one more. All right, so let's do, how about 5 groups of 4/7? A little tougher. How about this one? 5 groups of 4/7. 5 times 4/7. So go ahead and pause me and see if you can figure it out. Ready? Go. All right, so let's see what you came up with. We have 5 groups of 4/7. So we need to do 4/7 5 times.
Which is 5.5.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I need to figure out what that is. All right, so I'm going to add them up. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 4, 12, plus 4, 16, plus 4, 20. 27. So of course I have an improper fraction. So I need to pull out my whole numbers. All right, so let's do that. 7/7 plus 7/7. How many is that? 14/7. Can I do another 7/7? Because that'll take me more than 21. Or that would be more than 20. It will give me 21. So I have 6/7 left over. 7 plus 7 is 14. Plus 6 is 20. Okay? So altogether we have 1 whole, 2 wholes, and 6/7. So when I multiply 5 times 4/7, I get 2 and 6/7. There you go. Please make sure you show up for small group. I need you to show me that you can do this, okay? So if you are in my group or Mrs. Barry's group, I know a couple of you are working with Mrs. Recton and Mrs. Krieg. So please get to your math group, do your math groups. Those are so important, okay? I told you yesterday, I think I wrote it down in an email, that I noticed that on your assessments, those of you that have been showing up regularly for your math groups did way better on your assessments before spring break than those of you that aren't showing up regularly. So it is impacting your grades. So please make that a priority. Math groups are the same time every day. Make sure you show up and be ready to go with a piece of scrap paper and a pencil. All right? So, I'm done talking right now. You can go ahead and shut me off. You do have an exit slip to do today. All right? So go ahead and do that. I love you. Bye.